ensure that our communities are free from criminal activities. Our children must be nurtured in a safe environment. Our young people must be protected against the allure and the dangers of drug use. Citizens must be able to move around their communities free from crime, free from the fear of crime. Citizens must be safeguarded from attacks on their persons and property. They must be safe at home. They must be safe at work. They must be safe at play. They must be safe on the streets. Human safety is necessary to ensure our country's stability. Our country must be secure against trafficking in drugs, guns, and people. Public security will signal to investors that there is a safe destination for their investment.
The Guyana Police Force is the premier agency of state concerned with ensuring law and order. The force, by virtue of Section 3.2 of the Police Act, Chapter 1601, is tasked with the responsibility of preventing and detecting crime, preserving law and order, maintaining peace, repressing internal disturbance, protecting property, and apprehending offenders. To understand and appreciate the role of the police in society, one must first understand the intrinsic link between law and order and public security and economic development. So the force, with a current strength of 4,546 officers to serve from heavily populated urban centers to the most remote of hinterland villages, has its work cut out. And as the country gears for an oil future, the security risks and challenges increase significantly.
The police force indeed is heavily tasked. It has to conduct border policing and counter terrorism. It has to counter narcotics and counter trafficking in persons operations. It has to confront serious and organized crime, gun crimes, economic crimes, cyber crime. It must reduce road traffic offenses and suppress public disturbance. The police force can perform these functions effectively only if its members are committed, only if they're competent, and only if they're incorruptible. Human safety and public security can be guaranteed only by a force that is officered by persons who are competent, committed, and uncorrupted. No government anywhere could countenance the employment of incorrigible officers and expect that law and order to be maintained. Officers, crime is the greatest impediment to human safety and economic prosperity in Guyana. Crime must be curtailed if the people are to be safe and if the state is to be secure.
Economic and/or financial security would be impossible to achieve without that national safety and maintenance of law and order. This statement, simplistic and rudimentary as it may appear, bears more weight than we realize, especially in developing countries with limited human and other resources. It is for this reason that the government of Guyana has been working assiduously over the past 3 years to reform the sector, putting it in a state of readiness to deal with the ever-evolving face of crime, so that as the economic opportunities emerge, the country will be a safe investment destination for all stakeholders.
Countrywide, this country faces challenges. On our western border with Venezuela, we have refugees coming in by the day. On the southern border, we still had aircraft landing, bringing strange substances. Along our coast, we still have traces of piracy and smuggling, contraband, gun running, narcotics trafficking. Along the coastal areas, women are still being attacked and abused. Robberies take place. And unfortunately, too many rogue policemen have been found to have been involved in these crimes. The very security of the state, the safety of the Guyanese people rests on the police force and the officers who command it. And unless those officers are persons of integrity, of intelligence, and impartiality, this country will never be secure, and our women and children will never be safe. This country cannot move forward unless the Guyana police force preserves the environment, preserves the peace and security of the state and the people, to allow us all to go about our work without being harassed, without being threatened.
The issue of reforming the GPF has been high on the president's agenda, so much so that shortly after assuming office in 2015, the president lobbied now former UK Prime Minister Mr. David Cameron and sought and acquired the support of the British government to reintroduce the Security Sector Action Plan, which the previous administration had rejected.
This process has started, and with a new Commissioner of Police, 4 new Deputy Commissioners, and a new 5-member Police Service Commission, the force is on the right track to reposition and realign its focus in keeping with changing demands of the nation. These vital reforms will see the reconfiguration of police divisions, increasing them to 10 to correspond with the administrative regions of Guyana's regional system. The reforms will also strengthen partnerships between the force and communities.
Security sector reform is a high priority for my government. It is being implemented with the support of the British government. It will involve measures to promote greater probity in the work of the police and to ensure greater integrity among its officers. It will strengthen professional responsibility and oversight of the police force. Security sector reform is being reintroduced with the aim of providing increased security for our citizens. By reforming the force to allow it to become increasingly capable of crime fighting and law enforcement. To be so capable, it must command the confidence of citizens. There must be public trust.
In his most recent address to the National Assembly, the Commander-in-Chief assured that his government will do all that is necessary to give the police commissioner and his team the support they need to correct the abuses which have afflicted the force.
We have committed thus far close to $1.7 billion for the construction, refurbishment, and renovation of police stations in order to provide a comfortable working environment for policemen and policewomen, to improve services and to citizens, and to increase crime prevention capabilities.
As part of the reforms, the force will also be implementing the recommendations in the Russell Combs report, which came out of the UK-funded Security Sector Reform Programme, particularly as it relates to human resource management, training, and infrastructural development.
There are a number of recommendations which include for us to have a look or relook at what pertains at the moment at our training institution. That, of course, we've taken that on board. We've commenced action, as I mentioned earlier. We've sought and we've granted permission to have a training board in place. In fact, we'll be re-establishing a training board which would allow for a better management of the training institution, the Felix Austin Police Colleges across divisions A, that's Felix Austin Police College in Georgetown. We have in Borbis, and we also have in Essequibo, the Richard Feichel Police College.
The reforms that are underway will be complemented with the investments that are being made under the Citizen Security Program, which is an Inter-American Development Bank funded project. Only last week, a $117 million police station was commissioned at Mackenzie and Linden. Under this project, and according to the commissioner, 17 more stations across the country are earmarked for rehabilitation. These rehabilitated facilities will allow for better witness protection and confidential handling of domestic violence and other sensitive cases. There are also fully automated case management rooms, a spacious waiting room, and training rooms for ranks.
Security sector reform will strengthen partnerships between the force and communities. Citizens should not consider themselves to be passive onlookers or bystanders to crime fighting. Security sector reform will help to reduce crime and uncover the causal factors which give rise to crime. It will enhance cooperation between the public and the police. It will rebuild public trust.
The availability of vehicles for patrols in response to calls by citizens has always been an issue of contention that is recognized by the management of the force. The police commissioner said that the government of Guyana, by extension the force, is fully committed to improving the situation in the 2019 fiscal year.
Our priority for 2019 is the human resource aspect, of course. We'll also dealing with infrastructure, and we'll also dealing with training. The infrastructure, we will be looking at in terms of vehicles, two-wheel vehicles, four-wheel vehicles, inclusive of ATVs, so that we can have them deployed throughout the police divisions so as to respond to crimes adequately. Our main concern is the response to crimes, the response to scenes of accidents and scenes of crimes. We would like to be fully outfitted with vehicles that can have our mobility can be enhanced so that we can reach to those scenes in a shorter space of time than we can at this point.
Back in 2017, the GPF benefited from a donation of vehicles and equipment to the value of US $2.6 million, owing to the long-standing bilateral cooperation between Guyana and the People's Republic of China. The items included 56 pickups, 44 motorcycles, 35 ATVs, 5 buses, 550 pieces of protective gear, 40 desktop and 30 laptop computers, 10 scanners, 10 printers, 10 photocopy machines, 30 decibel meters, and 5 generating sets.
Access to nearly 75% of our country, which is covered by forests, thank God, is difficult. This is a situation which is compounded by inadequate infrastructure. We do not have enough aerodromes. We do not have enough bridges, highways, and stellings. Yet, the police force must cover this entire country. How will it do so? Ladies and gentlemen, the vast area, the long distances, the limited communication and transportation assets which are available to the Guyana Police Force restrict its ability to effectively enforce the law everywhere in this country. This has been evident to us, and bitterly so. We cannot have a secure country if our borders and our territory are violated by criminals, by transnational crime. We need an efficient, we need a well-equipped, we need a well-trained Guyana Police Force in order to confront these threats to human safety and public security.
At no time in the history of independent Guyana has the GPF been on a better footing as a law enforcement agency than it is today, and this is proven by the statistics, which show consistency in the overall decline of crimes in Guyana. It should be noted, however, that the current crime rate leaves no room for complacency, but waged against a period of intense criminal violence, which saw the death of 1,431 Guyanese between 2000 and 2008. The stability, political and otherwise, which we now enjoy is a welcomed change.
It is incomprehensible, officers, that so many atrocities could have occurred over such a short period of time without inquests or inquiries being conducted into most of them. The troubles occurred during the darkest period in our post-colonial history. The inability of the police force to curtail the criminal violence led to the emergence of counter forces and death squads. It revealed complicity between rogue elements of the security services and the drug lords. It exposed the infiltration of rogue elements into the force. It rendered the security forces vulnerable and exposed some of its innocent members to unwarranted death. The lessons of the troubles must guide security reform.
Between the period January 1 to October 8 for the year 2016, the Guyana Police Force recorded a total of 2,534 reports of serious crimes. In 2017, the figure was reduced to 2,277, and in 2018, it was further reduced to 2,086 for the corresponding period.